Good morning, students. In today's session, we will be talking about nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halide. And nucleophilic substitution reactions of alkyl halides, they undergo by two different mechanisms. That is SN1 and SN2 mechanism. Okay, so we are going to discuss both. Now, whether it will be SN1 or SN2 will depend mainly on this alkyl group, means the order of the reactivity. Okay, so when we are discussing each one further, this will be clear how R is affecting what type of mechanism will it follow. So first, children, we are talking about SN1. We'll split it up first. Now, what does S stands for? S stands for substitution. S stands for substitution. N stands for nucleophilic. It stands for nucleophilic. And 1 stands for unimolecular. Unimolecular. Okay. Substitution, nucleophilic, unimolecular. Fine. Now, what does it mean? This type of mechanism, that is SN1 mechanism, is a two-step mechanism. If we write down all the points for that, first point is it is a two-step process. I will write all the points first, then I will explain exactly what is happening in it. It's a two-step process, right? And mainly 3-degree alkyl halides prefer undergoing SN1 mechanism. So what is the order we can say? 3-degree alkyl halides have the maximum tendency, then 2-degree and then 1-degree. This is the order in which SN1 reactions occur. Unimolecular means it depends upon the concentration of only one. So we can say here, we can write here what it is actually dependent upon in the mechanism we are going to show. But as of now, we are writing rate, that is dx by dt is K into concentration of alkyl halide. It is only dependent on the concentration of alkyl halide. It is not dependent on the the concentration of the nucleophile. Next point. The nucleophile which is approaching is nucleophile. Nucleophile means nucleus loving. So this will be having negative charge. This can have a lone pair of electron. Anything which will have a tendency to attract positive towards itself. It's a nucleus loving, positive loving species. So nucleophile in this case is weak. Okay, nucleophile in this case is weak. The next point is SN1 reactions, they are mainly carried out in the presence of polar protic solvents. Now, what are polar protic solvent and what is its function? We are going to discuss in the mechanism. Polar means it will have definitely poles, difference in electronegativity, and it should be proton generating. That means it can be water, it can be alcohol, ROH, it can be acid, carboxylic acid, right? So these occur only in the presence of the protic solvent. Next point which we'll be discussing here is the intermediate. The intermediate that is formed here in SN1 mechanism is carbocation. It is carbocation. Carbocation will be the intermediate that is formed. The next point is it results in the formation of a racemic mixture. A racemic mixture will be formed in this. Okay, just quickly you note this down. Whatever we have discussed: substitution, nucleophilic, unimolecular. This is the split up of this. You can remember like that. SN1 is 2-step and 3-degree will be having maximum tendency. So SN1, 2, 3. Whatever is the name here, SN1, it is reverse, 2-step process, and 3-degree will have the maximum tendency. And 1 means unimolecular, so it is dependent on only one concentration term. And which concentration term? It is dependent on only alkyl halide concentration. the nucleophile which is attacking here is weak. Okay, it is in the what is the function of this we are going to discuss, and all these points we are going to discuss. Carbocation is the intermediate, racemic mixture is formed in it. Now exactly what happens in this we are going to discuss just now. This is one example I have taken for alkyl halide. Okay, this is, of course, I have not taken 3 degree, I have taken 2 degree alkyl halide. This carbon which is having halogen is attached in turn to 2 carbon, it is 2 degree. So if it was 3 degree, it will have still maximum tendency to undergo SN1 reaction. But that doesn't mean this will not undergo. This also can undergo. So what exactly happens in the first step here is, first thing I told you, this is occurring in the presence of protic solvent, that means water, for example water. So this water is very important in this. First thing, because when water is there, it can help in the breaking of the CBr bond, because CBr bond will not break off on its own. So this is causing the solvation of the halide ion and assists in the breaking of this bond. And this, of course, we know is more electronegative, will take both the electrons of this bond and it will go away. So it will go away as Br minus. It will go away as Br minus. So in the presence of the protic solvent, I told you this is sometimes the reason question asked, SN1 mechanism is always carried out in the presence of the protic solvent, polar protic solvent. Why? It helps in the breaking, the energy which is released. It is given like that in the book. If you see that energy that is released by the solvation of halide ion by water, this energy is utilized to break a bond between carbon and halogen. So what will this result in? It will result in the formation of a carbocation. It will result in the formation of carbocation. Now what has happened here? Just see here. See this dash dash means it is going backside. This one, wedge one, is coming towards you. It's actually what we are trying to show is this one is having sp3 hybridization. There are 4 different atoms also attached, means we can say this particular carbon is chiral carbon. It is chiral carbon, it is asymmetric carbon atom, right? It is sp3 hybridized. So when it is sp3 means the arrangement is tetrahedral. Okay, now this bond breaks. When it was like this and some bromine atom, it took the electrons and came out as Br minus. So what will happen? There will be some tension release in that carbon atom. So these bonds will all straighten up. They will come now as, trigonal planar structure. They are all in one plane. It is all in one plane. Okay, this is now trigonal planar structure. Trigonal planar, and now the hybridization is sp2. It is now a planar structure. When this is planar, now this carbocation will be attacked by a nucleophile. Now when this is not having, these are all in one plane, the nucleophile can come from the top and attack, it can come from back side and attack. Okay, so if it is coming from top side and attacking, these bonds will shift back. These bonds will shift back. If it is coming from back side, these bonds will come up, like that. So these definitely they are going to arrange themselves. So now what will happen in the next step? If I write this is say attacked by a nucleophile, there are 2 possibilities, children. There will be 2 possibilities when this is attacked by say the nucleophile OH minus. Either if it is coming from the top side only, what will happen? This carbon, now Br, instead of Br you will have OH, here you will have CH3, this side as such you have H, this side you will have say ethyl group. So what do you observe? If you compare, this Br is just replaced by OH. That means both are having almost similar structure. Instead of this OH, it has come and attacked from the front side. So this is almost the same structure. So we can say this is retention. This is retention, means the original structure is maintained. Means if nucleophile attacks here, these will shift back, and that is shown here. If it is coming from back side, then If it is coming from back side, then what will happen? This OH will be shown at the back and these all bonds will shift front. They will shift in front. You will have CH3 and then you'll be representing with dash dash hydrogen, and these you are going to show like this, C2H5. So if you compare this structure with this structure, these two are, object mirror images of each other. So this one, if you are comparing with the original structure, which was Br was here and these bonds were at the back. Now what has happened in this structure? OH has come back and these have all have gone the other side. That means this one is showing inversion. This is showing inversion. That means if it is following SN1 mechanism, there is a possibility that you are getting retention as well as inversion. In a way, we can say there is 50% inversion and 50% retention product. Right? That means one of the isomer is dextro, one will be dextro isomer. One of them will be dextro isomer, we represent with D and positive sign. Another one will be levo isomer. Another one will be levo isomer, which we write with small l or minus. So in a way, when both are obtained, what we can say? We can say that there is racemization. There is racemization, or we can say racemic mixture is obtained in SN1 mechanism. I hope you followed. Once again, I'm going to repeat what exactly this is. This is, the carbon which is containing halogen. Okay, and this carbon which is containing halogen is chiral I have taken. Chiral means the carbon containing halogen. This is having all 4 different groups. This carbon is having all 4 different groups. It's chiral. It's sp3 hybridized tetrahedral arrangement. Right? Now first thing is, in the presence of water, which is a polar protic solvent, it will assist in breaking of this bond. It will form this trigonal planar carbocation. This is, children, carbocation, which we were saying is the intermediate obtained. Right? This is the intermediate. This is the first step. And this is slow step. This is slow step. And in the slow step, there is only one, concentration term. Okay, there is only one concentration term. So we also say that the rate of the reaction will be only dependent on this. That is why we wrote here. We wrote here dx by dt, that is rate is equal to concentration of alkyl halide. Which alkyl halide? This alkyl halide which we have considered. So rate is only dependent on this. That is why we say it is SN1. Okay, this is the rate determining step, RDS. The first step is the rate determining step. Right, and the carbocation which is formed here in the first step can be attacked by a nucleophile, which in our case is OH minus. It can attack from front side and you can get a retention product. It may come from back side, you can get an inversion product, and you get both the products in equal amount, 50-50%. So you get a racemic mixture in this, that is SN1 mechanism. Clear? Please note it down. Okay, this is dextro and this is levoisomer. Racemization occurs in this. Now we'll be talking about SN2 mechanism. Now SN2 is one step process, and 1 degree carbocations and 1 degree alkyl halides will have the maximum tendency. So 1 degree, then 2 degree, and then 3 degree. 3 degree will have the least tendency to undergo SN2 mechanism. Okay. And nucleophile, the nucleophile in this should be strong. Nucleophile should be strong. And if we open this up, split it up, S stands for again substitution, N stands for nucleophilic, and 2 stands for bimolecular. That means its molecularity is 2. The rate of the reaction, if we write dx by dt, the rate of the reaction will be dependent upon concentration of alkyl halide and concentration of nucleophile. It is dependent upon the concentration of the both. We will be discussing in the mechanism even this part. Another point is, you can mark all these as the points, children. The next point is, this reaction, this mechanism is normally carried out in the presence of polar aprotic solvent. Polar aprotic solvent. They are polar but they do not give proton. Like you have acetone. You can write acetone. CH3COCH3. Okay, you can have even acetonitrile. Acetonitrile. Right, these are polar aprotic solvents, right? There is no as such, the intermediate, we can say there is no intermediate. There is a transition state in it. There is a transition state. In SN2, there is a transition state. We are going to discuss on this. And another thing is, inversion occurs in this. Inversion. In the previous one we discussed, there is retention as well as inversion. In SN2, there is only inversion taking place. Right? So, how we are going to discuss? Let us take the example here, children. Okay. We are taking example of primary alkyl halide in this, right? So, I am writing here methyl chloride, right? So this side you have halogen attached. Back side, that is from this side, the nucleophile, say OH minus, the nucleophile is attacking from back side. This side it cannot come because there is halogen. Okay, from back side it attacks. As such, this particular carbon atom is sp3 hybridized. You have tetrahedral arrangement. There is tetrahedral arrangement of the 4 atoms which are present around carbon atom. Now, what happens is when the nucleophile comes from backside, okay, when this comes from backside, obviously when something is coming and getting attached here, these hydrogens will all straighten up. They all will straighten up. And this halogen bond, starts breaking. This side, this is straightening up. This side bond starts weakening and this side bond starts forming. So you have a structure something like this. Carbon, you have hydrogen. These 3 hydrogen atoms straighten up. And this carbon-chlorine bond just starts breaking. And carbon-OH bond just starts forming. Right? So you will have this as a transition state. Right? In the transition state, you are having 5 bonds. But these bonds here, these are not completely broken or formed. So they are not counted in the hybridization. You will have only these 3 bonds. So we say the hybridization is sp2. But the shape appears here to be trigonal bipyramidal. This is trigonal bipyramidal. Now what happens is, now when this bond breaks completely, it will come out. It will come out as, say, Cl minus. And the another thing, that is when this comes out, nucleophile will form a bond here. That means these hydrogens, they shift the other side. Earlier, these 3 hydrogens are here in this side and nucleophile has attacked here. So when this has attacked, these, shift at the back. So these bonds shift at the back. So that means we can say there is inversion in it. I think because of lack of space, I'll draw the structure, the product here. Right? So this was the, sp2 hybridized state which we have drawn. So I'm drawing, children, here. I'm drawing the product down. So what is there? Carbon you have 3 hydrogens shifting the other side, and this side you get OH. If you compare this structure with this structure, okay, you can compare this structure with this structure. So Cl was on the right hand side. Now OH has come on the left hand side. These 3 hydrogens were on the left hand side. Now they are on the right hand side. That means there is inversion. And of course you can write that Cl minus that has come out. So there is inversion in it. Is it clear? SN2 mechanism. You can please note this down. Okay, this is the alkyl halide, nucleophile attacking. You're getting a transition state, sp2 hybridized, but the shape, because of the 5 bonds, trigonal bipyramidal. Then this bond breaks, OH is forming a bond, and now you get the inversion product in this. Clear? This is about SN2. Now we will take few, examples where we can draw a line over here. We can take these two examples, say CH2 double bond CH, you have here say allyl chloride. It's given, question is asked like that, allyl chloride, though if I write allyl chloride, children, it is like this CH CH2 Cl. Okay, it is primary. So primary means it should be undergoing SN2 mechanism, but it is following SN1 mechanism. Why? Okay, one more thing which we had to discuss here. We say for primary alkyl halides only they undergo SN2 mechanism. Reason for that is these three should be less bulky groups. If these are bulky, there is more hindrance. So if there is more hindrance this side, the nucleophile will not be able to attack that easily. Okay, this is also one question asked. Why 1 degree alkyl halides generally undergo SN2 mechanism? Okay, again we will come back to this particular question, children, here. That is allyl chloride, though it appears to be 1 degree, why it undergoes reaction by SN1 mechanism. Now, as we discussed in SN1, the carbocation was formed, children. Here, let me show that page. Yeah, in SN1, children, we have discussed that 3 degree will have the maximum tendency, right? Why it is? Because the carbocation was the intermediate, and we know that 3 degree carbocation is most stable than 2 degree, and then it is 1 degree. So we can say that the rate of the reaction of SN1, the rate of the reaction is directly proportional to the stability of the carbocation. Because the carbocation formed in 3 degree was most stable, that is why this was the reaction which was taking place, right? Now, so we'll again come back to this question. Allyl, that ion which it is forming, is also resonance stabilized because there is a carbon positive charge here. This will try to pull the electrons from this side. When this tries to come here, you will get another structure where this will be now a single bond because that bond has gone the other side. It is CH. Now this has come here, means it will be a double bond, and you will get this CH2 here. Now because this has gone here means a positive charge. So why allyl chloride, they show high reactivity towards SN1 reaction? That is because they are stabilized by resonance. They are stabilized by resonance. Clear? Achha, one more thing is, about benzyl chloride. Benzyl chloride, children, will form, benzyl carbocation. Right? Even benzyl carbocation is resonance stabilized. That is the reason why it follows SN1 mechanism. Again, you can see carbon containing positive charge. It will try to pull electrons. Always electrons, they start resonating, right? So what changes we make here, we are going to show in the next structure. So you will have here, a double bond. This will be now positive charge will go away because that bond has come here. So because this is deficient, now you will get a positive charge here and you will get like this. Now to complete this positive charge, to fulfill this, this will try to shift here, right? So you will have the next structure. In the next structure, this is again a double bond, no change we made. Whatever changes we are making, this has come here means this will be now a double bond. There will be a positive charge shown here, right? So to see to it, these electrons, they move in one direction, not that in any direction you start moving it. Now to complete this will come here. So when this comes here, what changes we made, we are going to represent in the another structure. This is CH2, right? This is as such. This has come means here, this will be now a double bond. This has come means positive charge will appear here, right? So in the next structure, you can show this one coming here. Okay, you can draw one more structure below this, right? Where you can show this is double bond, this no change we have made this change. This has come means we'll make one here bond here, and this will be again CH2, and the positive charge appears back on this particular carbon atom. Okay, I hope you have followed SN1 and SN2 mechanisms properly. Please try solving some questions. Sometimes questions are asked, some pairs are given, and you're asked to find out which of the following will, undergo reaction by SN1 or SN2 mechanism. And just see if you're able to do. Fine. Thank you for watching.